as of last night, 17,000 people were noticed wearing hats, and of them, a small minority.
You know what
were
would
in
make
fact
this even better?
ducks in
What?
hats. Back to you,
We actually
John.
had a TV.
Thank you, John Johnson. Anyway, back to the weather. Tonight we'll be having water falling from the sky at great velocities. Don't go outside, folks. Don't get wet.
Let's see here. Ooh. No, that one works. I know. I'll fix this one. So I'm gonna turn this into a working TV. Right now, it doesn't really do anything. I mean, it's got some pretty handy features like a... there we go. Like a little stand so you can lift it up. And watching TV on the go is entirely possible as long as you have 9 jumbo batteries, like these ones. And I don't have 9 jumbo batteries, and this time I'm telling the truth. I only have 4 of these. But what I do have is an irresponsible number of tools and plenty of ways to make this work. So let's do those. So first things first, I need to know, does this thing work? And I do have my modular power supply here. However, it asks for 12 volts DC, and this barrel jack does not fit. Now, I did tinker with this a little bit, and I found a barrel jack that fit. Was it this one? Let's find out. Yeah, so that doesn't actually fit, but it kind of does. So if I just wiggle it in there, then we can actually see it's kind of fit. It makes contact. So if I plug this in, now I've got power to it. It asks for 12 volts, so let's give it 12 volts and see what happens. Let's turn on our power supply and then give it 12 volts and see what happens. Is this 5.9? Let's see. Raise that up to 12.1. Okay. Doesn't look to be doing anything. Still nothing. So, the question is this inverted? So, let's try this way. Still nothing. Okay. Nothing. All right. Let's see what we can do about that. Ah, come on. What, did somebody shove this in here?
It makes contact.
All right, well, I think that's staying there. Let's see. Got some screws on the bottom here. Let's see what we can do about those. I'm betting you can take them out, but that's just a theory. Yeah. Okay, that's one. Sheesh, that is sharp. That's just screwed straight into it. Look at that. All right, that's crazy, but let's see how many more we gotta deal with. Quite a few. That's the side. All right. Now we got these screws out. Let's see what we can do about this thing. Wants to open up. What's stopping you?
Do it!
There we go. Okay, cool. So we've got here a pretty special sight Let me get you a bit closer so you can actually see. So this is a full tube TV here. I don't want to touch any of these because I know that there's some high voltage in there. And it's like big ass capacitors. And our settings over here. Well, I don't know what this antenna is. I guess that's just the extension for this. Okay, that makes sense. What I'm looking for though is where the power is delivered. And it looks like these back here are connected to our giant batteries. But we've also got DC voltage coming in here. And I bet you that if I bust that open, I'll find a place where I can actually deliver power. Do I want to do that though? That's the question. Well, I've got terminals here I can connect to. I'm gonna try doing that. So, okay. Has this been off this whole time? I don't know. All right, so now that I've got these connectors connected to the scariest looking spots, let's try giving it some power, see how far we can get. Okay. Not very far at all. Interesting. Don't think that we should do this, but I'm gonna try it anyway. Okay. So that definitely didn't do what I needed it to do. My theory is that I've got the neutral connected to the wrong spot. Let's try connecting right there instead. Oh, there we go. We've got sound. You can see here, the TV is TVing. How's the volume? Oh, incredibly loud. Okay. So one issue that I have here is this TV doesn't actually have any power switches, so I'll have to add a power switch. Another issue is that I don't want to just look at static all day. I want to actually have an image. So there's a few things I can do about both of those. But let's start with the power delivery, because I don't want to have it hooked up to my benchtop power supply the whole time. I want to have it just. Is that technically a benchtop power supply? I don't want to have it hooked up to this thing, modular electro voltage thingy-manator, all the time. I want to have it just kind of bleep bloop fucking work. Know what I'm saying? So let's see how we can do that.
Hey, have you tried dickinahotdogbun.com? It's got everything. It's got dicks. It's got hot dog buns. What else could you need? You, starting today, can get your dick on dickinahotdogbun.com by just sending your dick in a hot dog bun to skylarlow@gmail.com. With your submission, you'll get a complimentary bag of hot dog buns, because you won't be able to eat the rest of them. Because you put your dick in them. Come on, man.
Now, at this point in the project, you're probably wondering all kinds of things like, why? How are you going to power it? And why? And more importantly, why? And well, you really got to work on keeping those intrusive thoughts at bay. I do have some batteries kicking around that aren't really doing anything. This one's a real worker. It supplies 12 volts. So let's see exactly how much 12 volts we can get out of it. Oh, yeah. Okay. I don't know which one of these I'm supposed to use. So I'm just gonna, don't know what any of it means. Well, there's some juice in there. I don't know how much, but there's some juice. I feel as though it's not going to be enough. Let's see, I do have this little crank thing. I'm curious. Well, the answer is yes, I can power it off of this. Not very well, but I can. Well, I do have the Mac Daddy of batteries here. Let's see if it wants to work off of that. And this one. Well, no surprise there. This battery is a little more new. Now, now that I have it powered off of a battery, I need a power switch, because right now I don't have one. Let's see. I found an old switch that I can use to turn it on and off. Like that. And now, when I pull on this, it turns on the TV. Now, it's great that I've got a power source and a power switch, but I need a way to, like, I'm not watching anything. I need something to watch on. Aha! This. Now, for those of you who are unaware, this contraption is a Roku stick. Now, Roku sticks are used for all kinds of fun stuff. Usually watching TV is the number one thing that it's used for. But there's a problem with this little Roku device. It's only got an HDMI. That's it. That does not have HDMI. So, I'm just gonna plug this in. Like that. There we go. We don't need this on right now. Let me turn that off. So the next thing I need is an adapter for that, which I have. This little thing is an adapter to go from HDMI to, or something, I don't know, the yellow, white, red thing, you know what it is. This thing takes in HDMI. So I can take this little HDMI here and plug it in here. But now I've got a problem, you see. Because that TV doesn't have these connections either. All that got is radio. So what I can do is I can use one of these things, a home RF modulator. So I can stick this into here. Okay, we got a channel coming out. Let's go ahead and turn on our TV. Now we can see that there's something coming out of there. Now it looks awful. And I think that's just because the connection isn't very good. So, what we can do about that is we can give it a little cable, like so. Connect the RF out here. Oh yeah, it's already leagues better. Now all I need to do is move this closer to here or something, and it'll work better. But you know what I can do to make this work even better? Yeah. I've got this old antenna. Look at that. Clear as day. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay. Hey, and I've got my little Roku remote. Now, finally, I can watch 1990s Sledgehammer as it's meant to be watched on a 4-inch screen.
Wiped out.
No National Guard?
They refuse to get involved.
Hammer?
It looks terrible on camera, but in person, it looks fantastic. Well, finally, I can watch TV on this thing. However, I've got a problem. This is in no way portable. How am I going to watch TV on a portable TV if it's in no way portable? So I got to fit all of this in there. Let's see.
Oh boy.
All right, well, what I want to start with is getting the power switch into there. My hole's too small. There we go. It looks almost professional. I have a wire right here that's running to the actual thing, and that's where I've been connecting my power. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut this and then rejoin it using these two. Wow, that's really fine. There, I did one. Just gonna put a tad bit of solder on there, and then this should be good to go. On to the next wire, not functional, of course. Okay, that little blob of solder on there. I can now lift this heat shrink that I lost here back into place and see if I can heat shrink it. I am heating it. It is shrinking. All right, good enough. Now to do it again. All right, that should be fine. So now I just got to check to make sure that this still has a heartbeat. It should. But the number of times I've said should in my videos. Don't forget to clean off your soldering sticks. Those tips will die if you don't. So to test, I'm going to hook up to the battery terminals here in the back. So I've got a, if I can get this thing, so I remembered that the black was all the way up here, and the red was down here, which is hidden by that. So I'm just going to connect like this. Just like that. Alright. Now I'm going to give it 12 volts. Okay. 12 volts. And this little switch here should be how I power it on. Yeah, it works. Oh no, if only I had a way to turn off this TV. Never fear. The pull string is here. You gotta pull harder than the TV is heavy. The next problem to address would be the signal. So you will see that as of right now, it has no signal. It's got that horrible high-pitched whine that old TVs are known for, and it's horrible. So you can see right now that I don't have any signal, but if I lift up this little cable here, I can kind of get it back. And this white wire in the back here is actually, is connected to the antenna on top, and then it goes to this little box here. So I know that if I hold my cable doodad by that, the signal will clear up. By that logic, I'm going to connect something to that for me to connect this guy to. So I might have to take this back off again. But I have these little radio thingies. I'm going to try something. I don't know if it's going to work, but I'm going to try just setting this right here and seeing how clear my signal is. Where'd that cable? I just had it in my hand. So you can see it already changes the signal just by touching it to actually get this working. So if I set this, wow, yeah, that works great. Okay, so that's for sure what I'm gonna do. What could go wrong poking a bunch of holes inside an old TV that warns you that there's X-ray?
You really shouldn't be drilling directly into the wires.
Shut up, Grandma, I'm making a video.
Now this thing ought to fit through this little hole. Kinda. It's good enough. Now let's supply it with 12 volts. Hey, awesome.
Somebody stole Emma's car.
There we go. So I've got a pretty good setup here. All I need to do now is get the battery in there. I have a fully functional device at this point. Yeah, right. That's quite a bit there. So I do have quite a bit more to go. However, I'm going to leave it here for now and come back later.